Hello and welcome to On Point Show. My name is Shauna.
Hi, I'm Mariana.
And I'm Pascalina.
And today we'll be interviewing the amazing Gareth Brierley. For you at home and in the audience who don't know about this talented actor, let us tell you information about him now.
Gareth has been in shows like Stanley Pickley and The Josters, which he also directed himself. He is known as a remarkable white man, done a bit TV, theater, film, and now he's working with the company People Show at the moment, which is an improvisation group. Give it up for Gareth.
Gareth, thank you so much for coming here
pleasure.
today.
Thank you so much.
You have been working with the People Show for a while.
A long time.
Could you tell us how you get started?
They did a show called Baby Jane, and it was based on whatever happened to Baby Jane, the film. There's a Joan Crawford.
Yeah.
And so they were looking for a couple of male actors, and I was working in theatre at the time, and they just called me in. The People Show never auditioned on me.
Really?
They were short, so they just come in and they chat to you. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And this was back in 2000, so
Right.
nearly
Yeah,
18
sounds
years.
So
Yeah.
basically they just went up and talked away to you. And
Yeah,
you're
so
like,
someone recommended me or they known me, and that's how most of the kind of industry works. It's,
I want a job like that.
so do I want more of that now. Yeah, and that's happened.
Right.
Yeah.
You said that happened on 2000, right?
Yep.
And talking to you backstage, you told me you have participated in 25 of the shows.
Yeah.
That's
Which one
a
was
lot.
your favorite and why?
People Show is so different. So we do theatre shows, we do shows, we do films, we've done very small installations. So every show can be completely different, but there's two things. And the first one, we did a show in a bus. So
In a bus?
Yeah, so the audience come into this bus that we
Yeah.
bought,
Yeah.
and it was a cabaret, so the whole thing was done up in leopard skin, and we came out as these kind of bus conductors, but we did songs and comedy and stand-up, and the bus was even in Luton, in the old carport near the station. It was parked there, and
how did you do it on a bus?
the bus operated as well, so it would start up and the audience would get in this journey and
Were
they'd
you
be
not
lighting.
scared or something?
Yeah, we were used to it. I mean, it was quite frightening when people were sort of banging on the bus, audience members walking past, but yeah, it was good. We
It
did
was a big party then.
Yeah, it was a big thing. So it was good, and that was part of a larger show. So that was one of my favourites.
Oh, it sounds like a
Amazing.
big party bus or something.
It
like
was.
that.
Afterwards, it was always a party bus. Everyone was always in there drinking.
Oh,
After we
that's so
finished,
lucky.
yeah. I know, it's
Love
good.
to see that.
Where was my invite for this party bus like?
Next time.
Yeah, you
Next
party
time.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
promise
okay.
you.
Before we keep going on questions about your career,
Mm.
we realized as a group that you look a little bit like Hugh Grant. Do you have any funny story about it? Have you met
I'm sort of like
him?
a sort of fatter version of Hugh Grant, like a fatter younger brother. Yeah. I met Hugh Grant about 12 years ago at a party, and my friend, who was good friends with him, pulled me over, and we were all drunk, and said, "He looks like you." And Hugh Grant said, "Does he?" And that was the end of that conversation. So obviously you didn't think like that. Yeah. But some people said I do sometimes, but like a out of shape version.
No.
No.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Don't worry.
So even with you being out of the film and TV industry for a wee while, but now you're coming back with your new film, Exile. When is it coming out and what's it about really?
So Exile is something that I've written, so it's been in for a couple of years now in pre-production. So it hopefully shoots, I think, towards the end of the year. So we're in pre-production now.
Are
And
you looking for actors?
possibly, yeah, could be, yeah. And it's based around this idea of angels and demons living in London.
Oh, I would
Yeah.
like to be a demon.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's good.
It's because you are a
can see
demon,
that.
that's why anyways.
Yeah.
There you go. You can, demon then. Demon, yeah.
I can sit an angel, I think. I'm a good angel.
No.
Why?
Let's
No,
not
but-
talk about. Let's not get personal right here, okay?
So even with like performing theatre and stuff like that there, you've also travelled around the country, USA, India.
Yeah.
Which one's your favourite?
India was brilliant. We did a theatre show with India that we toured in Calcutta, Bombay, Chennai, and Delhi. And we started off in Delhi, we went everywhere, and that was just the most amazing experience to kind of sort of travel around that country in all north, south, east, and west, and do a show there. And it was, but then, you know, when you go around the world, you're in a kind of black box with lights on you. So you have a kind of universal feeling you're in the same place.
Yeah.
But I love doing, we always do a lot of international touring, always love going to different places.
When you going to Ireland?
We haven't been to Ireland for ages. I love to go to Ireland. Last time I went to Ireland was Dublin.
Oh.
Love Dublin.
Dublin's
So
good.
It's very
Yeah.
good. It's very lovely as well, fresh air and everything.
Yeah, a lot of filming in
Good
Dublin.
pubs.
Good pubs. Expensive.
In your biography online,
Yeah.
we saw a section called Many Things, and it's many things that you've done in the name of art, but you will never talk about it. Why such a secret?
Because I've got a lot of legal cases against. No, I did. You just do things like everyone who's involved with it have done terrible jobs,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're related. I had this job when I left university, and I went to Leicester, and my job was to first thing was to do be in a puppet skin, you know, like advertising something, and it was a kangaroo outfit, and I would have to and I had to wander around Leicester High Street in this kangaroo. I can't even know what it was advertised. But
sounds
the
fun.
outfit was like a furry kangaroo, but
Did you have a baby kangaroo
no
as well?
skis as the legs, and I can walk. So I'd be literally hobbling around, falling over like a drunk kangaroo.
Like a
That sounds
snowball.
so...
4
You probably
weeks.
were. Don't
Yeah,
lie.
I know. That was it. So things like that. Yeah, loads of terrible jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't talk about.
But you have to live somehow.
You have to
Yeah.
live.
You have
Yeah,
to live.
that's what I'll say to the judge.
So, you've done jobs that you don't want to talk about, but now you are as well writing, right?
Yes.
Right. When you write, where do you get your inspiration from the characters? Is it from people you know? Is it from people that you might see on the street?
Yeah, I think you do. I think some writers literally have a notebook with them all the time, so they would jot things down and go, I like the way that she's sitting like that. That's a good phrase. But it could be like that. But I think it's always observation, looking at certain things. If someone said, it's brilliant being on a train because you could just hear conversations, and actually that kind of some of the dialogue you can just take.
So
I've done that
basically,
loads.
eavesdrop on people.
I eavesdrop and watch people. This is what I'm doing here, and that's it. I think that's it. You just got to kind of observe and say, oh, that's an interesting character.
Yeah.
There was a guy where I used to live who used to talk to the birds, and he was obviously not very well, but he would be outside the street all the time, going to the pigeons, but going, come here, to the left, stop. And that's what he did. He wasn't very well, but that became a whole character, and it became something.
Was he on anything?
We don't know. He just wasn't very well, I don't think. But that became something with a character that I had in one thing that's developed into, you know, as a starting point. Oh, I loved that character.
But even along with this here, do you like games?
I love games.
Do you?
Have you got a game?
We have a little surprise for you today.
Well, we surprised for you today, and it's called Would You Rather.
Yeah.
So, do you know the game?
I think I do.
Yeah.
It's basically like, it's basically you play the game more or less when you've been drinking, but it's basically like,
We're
would
not
you rather do
drinking today.
this or that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, my one is, would you rather be drunk or hungover during your performance?
Oh wow, that's really good. I've been hungover a lot of times during the show.
I told you.
Still, I think being
Yeah.
drunk is easier though, because then
Yeah.
again, you don't know what happened.
That's true. Yeah. But being hungover is really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Drunk. I'm gonna go for drunk.
Okay.
Yes, I told you.
Yeah.
Would you rather perform a character like Bugs Bunny or a character like Darth Vader?
Darth Vader.
Yes, I know.
No.
Me too. She wants to be Bugs Bunny. I don't understand why.
Bunny
but
is
Darth Vader is so much better.
How'd you beat Bugs Bunny though?
Bugs Bunny, you get your carrot and do that there.
All right, mate.
Yeah.
All right, mate. It's
All right, mate.
Yeah.
That's it.
With Darth
Ah,
Vader.
no,
Bugs
it's,
Bunny. There you go.
it's the
It came alive then. Bugs Bunny.
what's that?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
so bad.
Do it again.
What's that?
Yeah.
Very good. You got it. Yeah.
Okay, and my
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Would you rather, how do I ask that now? I don't like the question, but Would you rather do a Greek, Portuguese, or an Irish accent?
I can't do any of those.
Well-
So I would go for... No, I can't do any of those Portuguese.
Oh, I told you guys, Latina vibes right
Yes,
here.
so even with that
So
there, thank you so much, Gareth, for
welcome.
My
coming
pleasure.
in today.
Unfortunately, this is what we have for today's show. Join us next week with our guest, Chloe McKinley. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Dad.